You're on.
Okay, good evening and welcome to the Gaithersburg Board of Appeals meeting. Today is April the 14th, 2021. I'd like to welcome everyone virtually, and I'd also like to welcome our alternate, Sarah Yassin, who will be joining us tonight for this board meeting. Thank you, Sarah. Following the agenda, we do have the approval of the March 10th, 2021 minutes. I would like a motion, if we can get a motion from one of the board members for approval of the minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from the March 10th, 2021 meeting.
Calling for a second.
I'll second that.
Do we have any discussion on the minutes? If not, let's go ahead and I'll call for the vote. I need to do it by roll call, so I'm going to call you each by name and say yay or nay. Okay, so Aaron, your vote for the minutes?
Yay.
Robert?
Yay.
Sarah?
Yay.
And myself is yay. So the minutes pass on a vote of 4-0. All right, let's move on with the meeting. Today, this evening, this is a public hearing, and this is a special exception case. And it's going to be for the Board of Appeals. And I need to put my glasses on. And it's going to be Board of Appeals 8798-2021. And Caroline Seiden, I'd like, please go ahead and introduce the case to the board.
Thank you. This is a public hearing on Board of Appeals case BOA 8798-2021. The hearing was published in accordance with the requirements of the city charter and code on the city's website, and the property was properly posted. At the present time, there are 14 exhibits in the record files. They are referenced in an exhibit list in the files. The individual exhibits may be reviewed during the course of the meeting or in the Planning and Code Administration Office during regular business hours at City Hall or on the city's website. Any objections to the receipt of any exhibit should be noted prior to the closing of the record. Otherwise, they will be deemed received in evidence. The applicant requests a special exception for an auto repair use at 5 Brookes Avenue. Subject property is zoned CBD, Central Business District, pursuant to section 24-160F2C8 of the city zoning ordinance. All new automobile, motorcycle, marine, and truck repair and services require a special exception, despite the fact that the property previously operated as an auto repair shop. And if I can bring up slide 5, just to orient everyone to the site. This is an aerial. And 5 Brookes is outlined in blue on the kind of the middle left side of the aerial. And you can see Brookes Avenue just to the north, and Old North Frederick Avenue and New North Frederick Avenue to the west of the property. And there's a Verizon facility just to the southeast of the property. The applicant went before the Planning Commission on April 7th, 2021 for a recommendation. The Planning Commission recommended approval with 4 conditions that are included in their CPC, which is exhibit number 13. The applicant and property owner, Ibrahim Ba, is here tonight, and he has several people here representing him, including the architect from DNC Architects, Kim Centrone, his attorney, Dave Coderling, and project manager, Audrey Jaramillo, who I will turn it over to now to start her presentation. Turn it to Audrey.
Before we start, I'd like to swear in all the witnesses that'll be speaking this evening. And so I'm just going to do a group swearing in. So if you want to go ahead and just raise your right hand. And this would be for David, you're already an attorney, so I don't need to swear you in, but for everybody else, do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony that you are about to give in this matter shall be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
I do. Okay. And I think I heard I do from everybody. All right, good. We're great, good to go. Let's go ahead and get started. Thank you, Kim. Please go forward.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you, board, for seeing us this evening. We are here to represent Abraham Ba, who is interested in, well, he purchased and is interested in continuing his business in Gaithersburg. We are proposing for this site to continue as an auto repair shop without changing the use. We are also proposing improvements, significant improvements to the existing structure. We're wanting to go ahead and add a second level, which is only going to have a mezzanine area where he's able to expand the roof height in order for him to repair certain types of trucks. In the exhibit, if you can follow me to exhibit number 7, where you're going to see a site plan. We're proposing also improvements to the site. Mr. Abraham is taking on.
Can we bring up slide number 7, please? I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm not sure. I don't
Just
see it.
wait. Yeah, it's not showing up yet. So there we go. Just give them a second to catch up.
Sure. Number 7, page 7.
There we go.
Perfect. Mr. Abraham is proposing to make improvements to the site itself, not only on his property, which is where you see the property line, but also beyond his property, which would be what is considered private alley that comes off of Brookes and it goes all the way around towards Old Frederick. We're expanding that for as recommended by the city to become a commercial service road, where we would be utilizing that private alley for ingress and egress onto the property. We're proposing 5 total parking spaces, 1 being a handicap spot in the very front of the property. We're also becoming ADA compliant, and we're going to go ahead and install a ramp. In the rear of the property, we're proposing to go from 2 bays. We're going to continue the actual building will be servicing 2 bays, but we will only have 1 door. And that, if you can go ahead, and I'm gonna then pass it on to Kim Citron with DNC, so then she can explain the design. If we can go to page exhibit number 9.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kim. Thank you for your time tonight. As was previously mentioned, it's a 1-story auto repair facility now. And Mr. Ba would like to add the 2nd floor worth of height so that he can repair trucks instead of just cars. In the front of the building, there is a mezzanine, and so we've introduced some windows there. We think this really improves the appearance of the building in the front to raise the height up a level. It's more in keeping with the rhythm and proportions of the rest of the street on Brookes Avenue, which turns into a historic district further down the road. And we're bringing in an awning over the front door and a shop window, and to kind of give the feeling of a porch, similar to the other and more welcoming entrance, similar to other buildings on the street. We did reduce the windows on the lower level because we're adding a stair and a bathroom in the front. But we added them at the upper level. The facade is going to remain as brick and block on the lower level, and on the upper level it will be EFS. But we're introducing this palette of kind of neutral grayish blues with a modern, lively pattern to it, in keeping with the commercial feel of the area, and to just bring it up to date and liven it up. You can go ahead and go to the next page and we'll see some of the other facades. Okay, so this is the west side of the building, which faces onto North Frederick Ave. Again, we're bringing some windows up to the upper level. They have awnings in keeping with the International Green Construction Code because they're west facing, but they will help bring some light into the bay where the repairs are being done. And the other windows are mostly existing to remain. We're just enlarging one of them. Go ahead to the next slide. Here's the back where Audrey mentioned we're going from 2 garage doors to 1 larger garage door, and it's taller. The line where the EFS and the brick or the CMU break is roughly where the roof line, that's pretty much where that roof line is right now. So the door needs to be taller than the existing roof. We're obviously taking off the existing roof and bringing the structure up a level. Go ahead to the next page. Oh, and that's it. Thank you.
For operation purposes, we have proposed operations to be Monday through Saturday, Monday through Friday. The hours of operation are basically 8 to 5. On Saturdays is by appointment only due to COVID. So we're only working till noon. Overall, we're expecting, at 3 total employees in the facility on any given day. 1 being the service manager who will be checking in clients, and 2 mechanics full-time. We'll have a contract with a oil disposal service who'll come in on a weekly basis. The oil is placed in drums and then they will haul the drums away, leaving a new drum every time they visit. We don't have, we're not proposing a dumpster on our site, but we will have a trash pickup. Is there any questions that the board might have at this time?
Yeah, I do have a question.
I
I'd
have
love if you
one.
could,
Well,
sorry.
Oh, Aaron, do you
Go
mind?
ahead.
Can you go first and then
Yeah.
Robert will follow up with you?
Sure.
Does that work?
Okay.
Yep. There was reference in some of the exhibits, and then you mentioned also in the beginning the improvements to the alley, and then the exhibits specifically talk about sort of improved traffic. Can you point that out on the site plan? I'd like to visualize that and sort of see what the current sort of congestion is that's alleviating.
So it's a low impact, sorry. Let's look at exhibit 7 on the site plan, which as you can see, it comes off of North Frederick. You would make a right on to Brookes, and then you have the first thing that you have is this alley, this existing alley that right now is in disrepair. Right now, a lot of the Verizon trucks and also people coming from old North Frederick are utilizing this as a path through. But our proposal is to basically, when we're making these improvements, we're not necessarily doing it to increase the traffic flow, because we did a traffic study. We had the traffic engineering group come out and they basically confirmed that this was very low impact traffic. This is more so for the owner to utilize this to be able to use the trucks to come into his space. I have, let me give you one more. Can you pull up exhibit? One second, I just want to give you our turning radius so that you could see.
I think
how
it's page 38.
So in exhibit 38, this is what we are proposing. Oh, sorry.
Right.
There you go. Okay, so in exhibit 38, this is how we're proposing to bring in the truck style. As you could see on the lower left-hand side is the max truck that we're proposing to do work on, which it's overall 29 feet in length and about sorry, I'm trying, I have my glasses on, but I'm having a bit of a hard time. And 8 feet in height. That's why the reason that we've asked to go ahead and make the roof height taller, because this is a specific type of truck that that Mr. Ibrahim repairs. So in this movement plan, we would be needing to utilize the private alley to gain access towards the bays in the rear. And
Got it.
we still would need to have some kind of, depending on whether we're exiting or entering, a little bit of a wide turning radius.
Thank you.
I believe we
Robert?
had one more question.
I think, Robert?
Yeah, that was mine. Aaron, you kind of stole my thunder because I was basically on the same wavelength there. I grew up in this area right around there. My grandparents' place is on Brookes Avenue. And that alleyway, I mean, it's in disrepair and it's got potholes and all that. But I'm wondering if, because you're going to pave it, correct?
And we're also widening it. The recommendations of the city of Gaithersburg is to make this a commercial service road. So we're widening it as well. And we're gaining 9 feet on both the owner's side, which is that lot 21 that you see to the left, which is closest to the old Frederick and New Frederick. There's the ramp there. And then we gain 9 feet on our property.
Yeah, my only concern with it, you know, from over the years, when there gets to be a traffic snarl on East Diamond Avenue or even on 355, that can be the people that have grown up around there know that can be a cut through to alleviate some of these problems. And I just don't want it to be a problem for your business when all of a sudden you see all this cut through of traffic now that it's paved. Because I mean, it's so bad right now, the potholes, because I use it every once in a while just to, you know, if there's a train coming down and need to get through town or whatever. But if it's paved, I'm just worried sometimes that the people that know Old Town will use it more freely.
Well, that only applies if the owner of lot 21 and we all come together, because we're currently in the process of trying to get some kind of easement agreement or alley agreement or right of use agreement with the other owners. And that owner maybe would propose that gets, you know, change off, because we don't have an issue. For our business use, we more need the access from Brookes, not
Okay.
necessarily from Old North Frederick.
Correct.
So that's something that we could put in our agreement when we finally all sit down and come to terms about how
Sure.
that particular ingress and egress is going to be managed.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Let me see. Sarah, do you have any questions that you'd like to present? Or
Yeah,
ask?
I was just gonna ask about how much wider that they were gonna pave it, but that was answered, so.
Okay. Well, I have a few additional questions, and one of there's a few, so I'll just go through them. So with the trucks that are going to be as part of the business clientele, can you tell me a little bit about the noise level and possibly if there is a extensive noise, will the garage doors be up or down when the vehicles are being worked on?
So normally, in a situation where it's any auto repair shop, there's a level of noise during the day, and we have it scheduled where it doesn't go beyond 5 o'clock, right? So whether you're taking out a tire to replace the tire, you're working under a hood, it's a manageable noise, but it's not within anything abnormal. It doesn't matter the size of the car or a truck.
Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. So then another question I have is that you had mentioned the barrels, which I guess is for the disposable of the hazardous materials or materials that need to be disposed in a barrel. Can you tell me just a little bit more about how that process works?
Sure. So the mechanics would, when they're doing oil changes, they would end up disposing of those fluids into the barrel.
Okay.
And it has an actual lid. And then the company that comes in once a week, they take the full barrel. And Abraham, you could correct me because Abraham is very familiar with the process, but when he explained it to me, they actually take the full barrel out and they replace it with a brand new barrel, leaving an empty barrel every time.
Okay, that's great. Then my last question is, you had mentioned there would be 5 parking spots on the property.
Yeah.
And so, and then I guess, would there be additional spots for cars that perhaps aren't in the bays themselves that could be outside? And if so, how many cars or trucks would that approximately fit?
So the way we've decided on how to manage overflow of cars is that Mr. Baugh currently now has an existing business in Gaithersburg. So he's going to manage the cars, any overflow onto the other business.
Okay. Okay. So there's another property for
Yes.
them. Okay. All right. That's all the questions I had. I'll circle back to the board if there's any additional questions you might have. Okay. All right. So let's see here. So we've asked our questions, and I need to ask, is there any additional testimony from any other parties? Normally there would be somebody in the audience, but I think Caroline, you might.
I've been told that there is nobody that has signed up to attend the meeting, so.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we're good with that. All right. So at this time then, I'd like to go ahead and close the record. And let's go ahead and close the record. And so now our next point on our agenda is the board discussion and the review of the draft resolution. And I would just say that the draft resolution is on page, let's see, I had this out here. It's on packet page, starting on packet page 16. I'll ask Caroline to confirm that. That's where our
I
draft.
think it starts on page 12 is the beginning of the resolution, but I don't know that we need to bring it. Well, it's up to you if you want to bring it up. But.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's first, thank you, Caroline. All right, let's go ahead and have additional discussion from the board. Would you like to just offer it, or should I go ahead and just ask you? We can start with Aaron. Do you have any additional comments?
Sorry, no additional comments. I'll just say that, consistent with previous use, certainly an improvement to the aesthetics, seems to fit the zone and be consistent with all the other requirements for a special exception. So I appreciated the presentation and the answering of the questions.
Okay, thank you. Robert? No
other questions for me. I was satisfied with the response of my only concern when I looked at the packet about the ingress egress and how that was going to be, taken care of.
Now, Robert, just to follow up on that, would you like to add that as part of our resolution?
No, not necessarily, no. It was just more inquiring minds wanted to know, because I've known that property for 40 years.
That's amazing. Okay, all right. So I just wanted to clarify that point.
Right.
Leave it at that. All right, and Sarah, do you have any additional thoughts or comments onto.
Now, I was just curious. So how long has it not been an auto repair shop? Has it just been sitting there for a while?
No,
Yeah.
actually, it's been occupied since the 70s, operating as an auto repair shop. It was
Okay.
Pete's auto repair shop before, and that is who Ibrahim purchased the property from.
Okay.
So Pete was
It
there
looks-
from the 70s.
Okay. The improvement, it looks really nice that you'll be doing.
Yeah, we're
Great.
very proud of it. I know Kim is very proud of it with DNC Architects. I mean, she really heard the owner and what he wanted to do. He wanted to make it look a little modern, but not where it didn't fit the overall aesthetic of the surrounding properties, both commercial and residential, because it's like a multi-use area.
Mhm.
So we're very happy with it.
Yeah,
And thank you
it
for.
looks nice.
We can't wait to get it built. That's where we're at. So we're very happy to bring it to you.
All right, thank you. And thank you, Sarah, too. Okay, so I don't have any additional questions. I went ahead and asked all my questions before.
Chair
So-
Rig, can if I
Yeah, go
may
ahead.
just, I
Oh,
just wanted to
Go ahead, please.
mention one thing, just to talk about the alley for a second from the city's perspective to address Robert's concern. So this, from the city's perspective, we actually view that alley as the improvement to the alley as a plus, because we know it's used as a cut through. And in fact, it's been identified in a, well, it's kind of an old plan at this point, but it's still the presiding plan over master plan for Old Town that shows an improvement, an improved connection in that area to help with traffic flow. So improving the alley was actually something that we that was important to the city to get it up to a commercial service road category, to help to actually facilitate that as a secondary way to move around that area. I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you so much, Caroline. That really helps clarify that whole discussion that we had too. So thank you. All right, so any other comments from staff? No? All right. I'm going to go ahead and ask for a motion to approve this application and resolution.
I'll go ahead with that. I'll make a motion that the Board of Appeals, based on the findings and conclusions outlined in the draft resolution, approves special exception application BOA 8798-2021 and adopt resolution BOA 8798-2021 with the 4 conditions presented.
And a second?
I'll second it.
All right, is there any further discussion? If not, I'm going to go ahead and call for the vote by roll call. So all the, Aaron, yay or nay?
Yay.
Robert, yay or nay?
Yay.
Yay. Sarah, yay or
Yay.
nay? Yay.
Yay.
And myself is yay. I'm going to say that the resolution now passes on a vote of 4-0. All right, so we're done with that part of the agenda. Let's go on. We're just wrapping it up here. Caroline, do you have any additional items that you'd like to share with us this evening?
No, other than just to mention the next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, May 12th. We've got a lot of things in the works. I'm not sure if we'll actually get them on the May agenda, but if not May, then certainly June, we should be having a meeting one of those 2 months. So after a very long dry spell, we're back in business.
Great. Well, that's great.
Great.
What's the, can you remind me of the June date?
Oh, I don't have my.
Don't worry about it. I've got it. That's fine.
Second Wednesday in June. Let's see if
Okay.
I can get it.
Thank you, everyone, for hearing us
The
out
9th.
June 9th.
and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline
you.
Tyson, for all of your help.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Caroline. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Thank you. Is there any additional comments from the staff?
Nope, that's all I have.
Okay, is Frank, do you have anything?
No, I will say that just for future planning, there has been some discussion about, we did an open meetings training. I usually say things were just a few months ago, but that was actually getting up to being almost 4 years ago. So we're looking at doing another one. That's where we did it at the Casey barn. We're looking at the potential of doing another one maybe towards the end of this year. We'll see how things work. We'll see if it can be in person. But just as an FYI, because there have been a lot of board changes and there have been some changes to the open meetings law. Not dramatic, but a renewal for everybody might be useful.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Frank.
Sure.
Sure. And so we'll save our calendars for somewhere to go because we haven't gone anywhere in a year.
We hope so.
But yeah. And let's see, I think I saw Greg also. Anything from Greg?
Nothing for me tonight. Thank you.
Okay. All right, with that, I'm just going to make a motion to adjourn. This meeting is now concluded. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Stay safe, everyone.